And there's a place that I've dreamed of, where I can free my mind. I hear the sounds of the season and lose all sense of time. Feels like we're in a dream, you know what I mean.
Right there, Kent McIntosh.
Good evening, Jay. How you doing, my friend?
Dude, I'm doing good.
Today
was a crappy Monday, but I'm looking at you right now, which makes my Monday way better. I'm serious. Today was. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No, it's
Dude, honestly, it was a tough day, but we got through it. You know what I mean? Just one of those days.
It does happen to the best of us, and yeah, as I said, sorry guys that we're a little bit late getting started today. We had lots to discuss prior to us coming on. It's been a few weeks since we've done this, so we're a little rusty to say the least, and of course, certainly not on time. But there's Jim. How you doing, Jim?
But I had to put the run to a raccoon.
Oh.
I put a bag of recycling cans and plastic out, yogurt containers and stuff outside the door, and I forgot about it instead of putting it in the truck. I'm sitting here, and you were playing the songs, and I hear ka-tink, ka-tink, and I went out, and he goes like this at me. Opened the door. Poor thing thought, this is it. I'm getting eaten.
Wow.
I thought maybe you were saying taking a raccoon, like you got to go drop a deuce or something before the show, like you know what I mean? Like, I never heard that term before. Dropping a raccoon. All right, okay.
Dropping a raccoon.
Well, I could probably speak for all three of us, but who needs to go fishing?
Oh,
fuck yeah. Well, pardon my language. Yes, absolutely.
All right. It's all right.
I think I can ice fish out back.
I was going to say, Jim, you mentioned something about the bay being frozen over.
Oh, I told you about putting the run to the kids. The kids were walking on the ice there about 15 feet out from where you launched the boat.
Has it been cold enough out there for that?
Funny, yeah.
Yeah, because here I am thinking that water temperatures are still warm. I don't know how anything's freezing right now.
Oh no, it was a lot of stuff here has been frozen.
Is that right? Interesting. Yeah. Jay, anything down your way frozen?
Not yet, but they're
ice fishing in Saskatchewan.
It's cold.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Yeah.
Like it's coming, buddy. It's coming. Like this morning, it was cold this morning. Like for it was good. It was a good -4, -5, like a good hard frost this morning. That's good. I like that. So
we're supposed to be 12 here tomorrow.
Yeah,
Well,
it
this
was
is the
11
other thing.
when I left work today.
Yeah.
What a roller coaster of weather that we're having.
But
And Jay,
they got that cold coming out north or out west and up north, but not here.
Yeah. You shared that polar vortex or that warming trend, I should say, up in the poles, 30,000 kilometers up or something like that. Something we haven't
so
seen.
there's this atmospheric warmth thing going on up over the North Pole, basically, and it's pushing all their cold air down. So up there, it's still like -5 or -10, but it's still way below seasonal for them. Sorry, way above seasonal. And they're pushing the cold air down. And so we're going to get this blast of cold air coming through Thursday. They're calling for I heard forecasts of 50 to 80 km/h winds, lake effect snow. It looks like it's going to be like Perry Sound's I think the snow is going to kind of be like kind of west or southwest a little bit. So we're not going to get too much. Like the usual London, Barrie isn't going to quite get as much, but yeah. You know what, Scotty? I was thinking about this on the drive home tonight, and I didn't mention it before we started, and I should have. I want whoever is listening to this show, and I'm going to do this too. This is Black Friday week, man. It is shopping week. It's shopping week. If you're listening to this show and you're in the chat, put in the link to your favorite tackle shop right now. Do it. Copy and paste the link. I don't care. And I got a bunch. I'm going to make sure that get in there because I support everybody. I don't have a favorite. I'm like Jim and you, Scotty. I stop at every shop I drive by. But
absolutely,
let's make sure everyone who needs a little prop up this week, and let's do that. And I'm going to talk a little bit about some fishing tackle I got my hands on recently. That's really helped me catch a few fish recently, Trevor and I. But it's Black Friday week, and I realized this on the weekend. So. And not even shops, businesses we'll talk about creek candy beads in a little while when I get to my part about fishing. But man, Gagnon's 100%. One of my favorite shops, Jim's too. So Grimsby Tackle, Bill's Bait. Where's Steve? Steve, work your magic, buddy. Let's go. Let's go.
Absolutely. There are so many. I mean, Jim, how many are you affiliated with that you show up, do presentations, just, show face?
It's amazing they're out there. I mean, there's
Tackle Brothers. Yeah.
And a number that have come in recent years that are just absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Up in Peterborough with Tackle Bros. They've been around for a few years now. But Robert down in Cornwall at Tight Lines there.
Yeah.
Lord, the stuff he's doing, he's putting on tournaments and giving away, I think it was $7,500 last year, and all
what's his name again in Tightlands? What's his name again?
Rob Martin.
Yeah. So the algorithm must know I like his stuff because he's been doing lots of videos on Instagram and TikTok and stuff, and his stuff's coming up. And at first I'm like, who is this guy? He's pretty well, and I'm like, oh, that's the dude from Tight Lines in Cornwall. All right, it's Rob. Okay, I got you. I never met the guy. I just see his videos online. That's great.
He's a gem. He's a good guy.
Yeah, awesome.
He was a florist for 25 years or something. The family, whatever.
Really?
And cool. he opened a tackle shop behind the florist. And then he was there for a couple of years, and then he moved again. And he's got this great big beautiful store now. So it's got everything. It's another one of those places.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So many great links that people are sharing. Jay, thanks for what you're doing. Natural Sports, yeah, absolutely. Yep. Bill's Bait and Tackle, Mark, great one. That's another fantastic one. This is a great idea and a great segue, Jay. And I didn't even bring this up, but I'm doing this for our good buddy Eve, who's listening tonight. There's an event that's coming up this Thursday, and kind of an interesting thing in this town of Orleans. They are getting together, and it's basically a bass boat day. They're getting some incredible guests to come in and speak about bass boats, different manufacturers, as you can see. And of course, the Johnson brothers are going to be there. So it's this Thursday,
the
November
second or third
27th.
year they've done this.
At 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. There's the address, 701 Taylor Creek in Orleans. But yeah, you get the champion Johnson brothers. You'll be able to ask questions. They've got beverages, good vibes, and basically just kick back and talk fishing. But there's going to be a lot of yummy bass boats there for everybody to gawk at. And I want to thank Eve for bringing this to our attention, because I believe this will be quite an event. And you said, Jim, they've done this before?
Second or third year, I think, or maybe second or third time. They've done it a few times. They're very, very active with obviously with the high performance boats. You see they have huge display at the Ottawa show, right down at the end, just before the office there on the left, just a monster display.
100%. Oh, look at all these wicked Jay. He's not able to get a word in edgewise from all the links that he shared. That's fantastic stuff.
It's funny you were sharing all these links here. I remember when I started years ago in this business, like we're talking like over 40 years ago, and there was over 1,500 independent tackle shops in Canada then. On this list that we had. I'd really like to know how many there are now. I bet it's down below 1,000.
Probably, yeah. You're probably right.
Right.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I'm just thinking it's definitely less. I would think it's not more. Because so many have closed. I've often mentioned this jokingly with my buddies about how I've outlived so many other things in this business that have people have opened up a store, made a career out of it, and retired and closed the store down, and here I am still going. You know what I mean? And I even see it just from ads from stores in just fishing in that. It's really, really cool. It's really, really cool.
Awesome stuff. So we were a couple of days late, few days late, but it was World Fisheries Day, and Fish and Wildlife Advisory Board wanted to remind us of the importance of this day. Of course, just here in Canada, in Ontario, commercial and recreational fisheries contribute a combined total of nearly $2 billion to the provincial economy. That is an incredible milestone, and I'm sure from a country perspective, it will probably grow by 10. But needless to say, certainly nothing to sneeze at when you're seeing those kind of numbers being filtered into our economy. And for no other reason than we're talking about these stores. And Jay, I think this is a perfect segue for this.
Yeah.
We need to show our support. And I can speak to this. Even with the Made in Canada tackle shows, we are seeing, I will say, a very slow gathering of vendors. One venue in particular, our Caledonia venue, is doing very well in terms of signups, but the other two are slowly getting there. But we're a little concerned, and I'll have to say, I think some of that concern is the concern folks have of what the future is to hold. And again, we're not here to talk politics. We don't like doing that on this show. But I honestly believe that there is a lot of concern that is growing amongst our followers, amongst folks who live in the country. And it certainly has Brad and I a little concerned, and I'm sure it has a lot of other folks concerned as well. Now, there is a topic that we have been asked to discuss, and this is one of the reasons, this was the reason that we were a little late getting started today. This popped up, and I know a lot of folks are looking for us to discuss it and talk about it. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to take Jay's recommendation and feedback on this. I think it's best that we keep an eye on it. I think it's best that we become educated in regards to it. But instead of doing what a lot of folks are doing these days and just clicking on stuff that baits us in and gets us sucked in, I'm not 100% sure if this news publication is, a real thing. They are making some incredible statements. There is some links, and I want to thank Steve for sharing this with me, Steve Shaw. But this is concerning, and it is definitely something that we are going to have to keep an eye on. But I'd like to do what we used to do in the hockey days as a parent rep. Let's take 24 hours, let it soak in. Let's become educated, because at the end of the day, if this is something that is going to move forward and become something, then we are definitely going to need to talk about it.
Scotty, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this right now, and I'm totally pissed off at whoever wrote this. Look at the word chief. They didn't even put a capital C on chief.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah. So
That
again,
pissed me off.
Jay, I think you're bang on with the recommendation. At the end of the day, yeah, we could sit here and dissect it and stomp our feet and have a little tantrum and whatever, but we don't know exactly what's going on. And again, I have a firm belief that maybe some of this is coming to light just because of the current state of what's going on in this country. That people are getting concerned of what the future looks like, and they're grabbing at everything they can. With that being said, we'll leave it there. But folks, I really do want you guys to become educated about this topic, if in fact it is truly a topic. I know a lot of folks in our community have discussed this and shown their displeasure in regards to it. But let's become a little bit more educated. There's 3 links in there for the interview that this chief has with this author, and give them a listen. Make sure you have maybe a drink, a cocktail, a wobbly pop when you do, because you're not going to like some of the stuff that's said. So instead of going off on a tangent and making this a big deal right now, let's pump the brakes. We'll become educated as a community, and we'll follow this right to the end. But yeah, there's a lot of that going on, Jay, as we talked about. It's happening in BC, it's happening in other areas that I don't even want to bring up, but it is concerning, and we certainly have to.
I get it.
Yeah, we got to keep an eye on again, because we sit here and we talk about.
You guys keep freezing.
What's that, Jim?
You guys keep freezing.
Oh yeah.
Like you're going away, like you're not. Yeah. No, you're not, like you weren't moving to me for about a minute.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, the screens were all 3 of my screens went black at one point.
Really? Well, that's usually a sign of poor signal.
It's probably my fault. I'm spamming all the websites.
Yeah. So on that note, with that being said, I know it's that time of season. We're in transition. I've got folks that are asking about the ice fishing show that isn't. What are some of the things that we can do to preoccupy our time? Jim, obviously you have some stuff that it makes perfect sense to start doing some of that maintenance that we desperately need to do with our equipment. And if we're putting it away, we're putting it in the closet, we're hiding it from the wife, who probably would put a for sale sign on most of our stuff if she had the chance. What are some of the things that we should be looking at when it comes to proper reel and rod maintenance?
Do if you know anything's wrong, do it now.
Yeah.
I in the springtime I'm at Shimano more often, or at the beginning of the season, and I'll be in the service department sitting there talking to boys for a little while, have a coffee, and it's not unusual to see 3, 4, 5, 6 guys come in the door, and it's like Thursday afternoon, the season opens Saturday morning, and they've got six reels that are broken. I broke all these last year, and then most of them aren't even broken. Like they've lost a piece off them. They've taken the spool off and can't get it back on. They've got them taken apart to clean them, and they're in the bags, and they backed over it with a truck. Can this be warranted? Some of the things that you see are, well, if you got any problems, anything that needs to be fixed, or you just want them cleaned, they completely break everything down. They do it, but give them time to do it, so you have lots of time to get it back. It's one of the best things that you can do.
So one of the things that I talked to Bobo when we had our meeting was to bring Giles on here just to do a rough overview on some of the the easy things we can do when it comes to reel and rod maintenance.
Loosening your drags, stuff like that. It's all just standard stuff. It's stuff I've been doing forever. But you still see. I got one. I remember last year I brought some stuff in out of the garage last year, early in the year. And I got mad at myself because one of my metaniums, I hadn't backed the drag off. I left it tighten. The reel was still fine, but I hadn't backed it off, and it bugged me that I hadn't. because I go through all the rods and I back everything off. That's why when I show up at the first show with a handful of rods, they're always loose because the drags are still backed off and they won't stay tight. But man,
that's a good thing though.
Yeah, it is.
There's no doubt about that. Yeah. I gotta get this off my mind. I was talking to some guys out here the other day. I watched them launch in the boat here. It was a nice afternoon. It was dead calm. It was, I don't know, like 7-8 degrees. So it was perfect day. And they're getting in the boat. And I was going down to pick up a prescription for Tammy. And I went down by the boat launch. I came around. The guys are launching the boat. Hey, Big Jim, they come over and I talk to them. And I'm looking in the boat and I said to him, what are you guys going fishing for? He says, largemouth. And they've got buzz baits. They've got frogs. Like, these guys are just jacked to go fishing. And I could have told them, well, if that's what you're going to fish with, you best just put the boat back on the trailer and go and drink beer because you're going to have a lot more fun, And we were talking. I told him, I said to him, what's the water temperature? Were you out there? And he says to me, yeah, I was here yesterday. I didn't catch anything though, but they were coming back. They were having a go at it. They didn't even get a bite. And I'm talking to him. He said the water temperature was about 47, 48 degrees. So if you're fishing for largemouth, as they're doing in these lakes here, when it gets to 47 or 48 degrees, all you need is 6 of these on the deck of the boat. Maybe a bucktail jig with a same type, but that's all you need is a jig. So you go to the spot that you last caught the largemouth and you work deeper from there. You start your way out because there's that old thing that they do where they go back and forth and then they eventually stay deeper. And that's people used to wonder when we used to have pictures of us and there'd be, like I would never keep fishing a boat the whole. That's why you never see me holding a bunch of fish. I would never keep a bunch of fish in a boat to take a picture. You shouldn't be doing that. I just don't like that, especially when I see guys doing it with smallmouth in the middle of the summer. Mm-hmm. There's no reason to put the fish under stress to get a picture. And they used to see pictures of us, and we'd each be holding up, a 5 or 6 pound largemouth in each hand, and there'd be 3 guys in the boat. And they used to say, "How do you catch all those fishes?" Well, we go fishing in the late fall, and we find out where they winter, and that's the last place that they move to, or very, very close to it, just before it freezes. And we used to do that with the crappies. That's how we used to find crappies at first ice. We would fish for them and mark the spots where they last were.
Yeah.
Last time you're out, not where you caught them back in the middle of the summer or last spring, where they last were. And they're not going to be far from there by the time the ice freezes. And it's a great spot to start. But I'm telling you, fishing this and taking lots of time, even if you have to go down to a 1/4 of an ounce, to force you to fish slow to keep it close to the bottom. And I just rattle it along the bottom, bring it along. Don't be in any kind of rush to get it back to the boat. And just swim it back. Lift it a foot, let it go down, lift it up, let it sit on the bottom for like 30 seconds and start to move it. And the number of times where you let it sit there for about 30 seconds and you start to move it, boom, you get a hit because they're sitting there looking at it and they're, should I eat that? Maybe not. That's why late in the fall too, I go back to smaller baits. Like that's a regular 3/8 ounce jig. One of my buddies, Mark there from Weapons of Mass Destruction. But see the way I've just got the little trailer, just barely, little part song, just barely out the back. Because I'm a firm believer when it gets really, really, really cold that they're not chasing big stuff the way they were, right? They were chasing big stuff back in August when the water temperature was 85 degrees and they were killing anything that moved.
Yeah, no, 100%. With that being said, Jay, obviously it's your time for multi-species, or at least diving into different types of species. Steelhead, is obviously on the top of a lot of folks' lists if they are steelheaders and they enjoy going out and catching a nice rainbow. Crappie, as I've seen lots of crappie caught. I've seen lots of muskie caught, lots of big walleye being caught, smallies, some tank smallies I've seen posted on social media recently. So the fishing is definitely still hot. But when it comes to what you're gearing up for, what you're getting yourself set up for, Jay, what is it that you're looking forward to getting started with?
Well, so this time of year, so everything's put away now. So we put away all the bass stuff. That all went away. Kayaks got put away. Backed off all the drags, backed off all the cast controls, took all the reels off the rods, checked all the rods, kind of made a list. this is a good time of year to make a list of what we want for next year. So we did all that, but we've been, we got all the ice fishing stuff out. Now we still got to test some of the heaters and do that kind of stuff, but we got all the ice fishing stuff out, the Smitty sled, like everything's, it's not ready to go, but if we got ice tomorrow, I could be ready in pretty short order if I wanted to. So we're ready for that. But one thing we've been doing a lot of is trying to go steelheading, but the conditions haven't been that great. It's been a lot of low water, and we've been real busy around home. So we haven't done any road trips for steelheading. It's trying to just fish local stuff. But a lot of it's we've had just consistently low water. We haven't had that rebound down here yet, like other places have, because some places got some snow and some rain in the last few weeks. We haven't got that here. So we've been trying to like finesse these things in this low clear water, and we've actually had some success doing it. And this is nothing new, but I'm just gonna give a big shout out to Creek Candy Randy, man. Like we have just 6 millimeter beads. So, and I'll give Trevor credit. He came home one night. He's freaking out. He has the same like mental issues that I have. Like we're a little ADHD, him and I. And the more I read about ADHD, and it's like my poor child has all the same problems that I have. He does.
Yeah.
And so he got on these fish with the 6 millimeter bead, and he's looking online. I go, dude, you know how many 6 millimeter beads I got in the back? Like, so I pulled these 3 bags out tonight. This isn't even the primo stuff. This is just like the backup stuff, because the primo stuff's in the garage in the packs. But that's the kind of colors that we're running, like really, really natural colors, but pink. I know it's not natural, but that's been working well. And those, but honestly, the sneaky stuff, and anyone who steelheads know this. So I know the steelheaders who are on the chat, like Mike and others who are in the chat, they're going to know this, but like, flies, man. So the stonefly has the stonefly nymph, and I like the beadhead nymphs only because you get a bit of weight on them. So, and you'll see here, these are all my beadhead nymphs, right? So you got, and they actually sink pretty fast, especially when the water's low and clear. Now in the springtime when we're fishing for rainbows and you get the dropbacks, and like, so everyone's used row bags and things like that, and the water's super clear. The stonefly has always been the trick. Under a float, drifting a stonefly through a pool. And I don't always use them in the fall, but the other day when we were out, Trevor and I, this is kind of a funny thing. So we hiked way back in the 40, man. Like we were gone, and we were crawling over log jams. You ever just done shit and you're like, I'm too old for this shit. I'm like Danny Glover on Lethal Weapon. I'm crawling. Like
every day when I get out of bed.
I'm up on a log jam, and I'm like, if I fell right now, I think I'd be done. I think they'd have to airlift me out of here with a moose sling under a helicopter. Like that's it, right? So, but of course, Junior is just crawling over everything because he can do that. He's 18. Anyways, so we're fishing all these log jams. So the fish are all buried up in the wood because all the runs where they might normally sit if the water's good, they're not there. We can see the whole run. Like we can see the bottom, and there's no fish there. And so we get up in these log jams, and all of a sudden you're like, there's a tail. And you look, and this time of year, the steelhead don't get colored up. They're like ghosts. Like they're like silhouettes, right? And you'll see them, like some of the smaller ones, and then you'll see a big one like kind of slink up against a log and kind of drop down. But they're in tight. And anyway, so Trevor, I'll give him credit. He's trying to fish a center pin now, Scotty. So I've been bugging him for years.
Good for him.
Pin. He's been and he's struggling, but he's determined now. Like before he'd struggle and put it down. Now he struggles and keeps it in his hand because he wants to learn, which is great, because as much as fishing hardware and stuff is great, in this low clear water, those fish are spooky. You got to finesse them a bit, even in that wood. Anyway, so we're up. I'm fishing the up part of the log jam. He's kind of buried in the middle of this log mess, and I can hear him, Dad, you got to come here. I'm like, all right. So I start crawling back through the logs. And he's about probably 30 yards from me. And I get up to him. And he's like, get down. And I'm like, what the hell? This is like me yelling at you 4 years ago on trout opener to stop scaring all the brown trout. So anyways, I get down and I look. He's like, look right there. And there's like 3 big ones, like big ones, like cruising. And they're spooky. So I'm like, dude, I got a 12-foot rod and I'm on my knees, like trying to finesse these things, right? Long story short, they're sniffing the beads, but they're not grabbing the beads. And I put on a stonefly. First drift with the stonefly, it kind of got twisted up. Like, you know how you want all your shot to go down? Well, I'm pitching it out there fast. And because I got to make a quick drift. And it kind of got tangled up. So the stonefly and the shot were kind of twisted. So the stonefly was about halfway down. And we seen the one come up, look at it, and then go back down. And I'm like, he would have eaten it. But I couldn't like jerk it in and untangle it because I would have spooked it. So I have to let my drift finish, reel it in. I throw it up again. And then on this pass, it kind of sneaked beside a log. And I wasn't quite sure where it was. And as it's going, I saw the float. Bloop. And I'm like, oof. And then on the second, bloop, I jerked. And I felt him for a second and he came off. I'm like, damn it. Because I'm trying to get him before he gets back in the wood. Third drift. I don't deserve this fish. Third drift, dude. Third drift. I'm drifting back, watching the float. And it just starts doing this. Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Bam. And I go, I got him. And Trevor's he has a video on his action camera. And this thing in the log jam, it's just coming up and it's running under the log, over the log. It's probably about a 10-pound rainbow. And I just got my, and you can't, so I'm running pretty heavy fluoro. I think I have 8-pound fluoro leader because I know I'm in the wood. I'm going to break it off anyways if I don't land it. So I got my heels dug in. I got my rod doubled over and I'm just pumping this fish and it's jumping and jumping and jumping. And Trevor's just in the video. He's laughing his ass off. And it's like a video in a mob scene because he's laughing and trying to follow this fish. And so if you get seasick, don't watch this video. Anyways, it ends up coming off. And I'm like, but it was one of those fish that if I don't put the boots to it and stop it, it's just going in the logs and it's gone anyways, right? So It's a bit of a Hail Mary. So I need to say I didn't land a fish that day. But that I said to Trevor, but what a show, man. What a show. And we spent half an hour on this little pot of fish. So you know what? We fished for like 4 hours and we had 30 minutes of it. We didn't even land one. Who cares? It was fun just trying to finesse these fish out of that log jam. It was a good time. So, yeah.
Cool. But I love hearing those stories. And it just
I got something here to show you when you were talking about muskies there, Scotty.
Yeah.
Like it's been a good year for it. You know, the guys from Dadson don't spend too much time on. They have their own page that they're private on, and there's some of the fish they've been catching. There's some of the fish they've caught this fall. Incredible. There's a lot of 57-inch fish.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah, when you see this, what I was trying to say is it just reiterates the need to get out fishing because I think a lot of us need to.
57 3/4.
Yeah,
but they won't let you include the fractions. It's either 57 or it's going to be 58.
Right.
So if it's 57 3/4. That doesn't count. That's why you see it scratched out.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
And but that's the thing. Like, this time of year, the fishing it can be great, but you got to get out and do it. Like, and it's not for everyone. But you know, it's the time of year to do it. Like if you want to catch a big muskie, this is it right now. You got to go and do it. And if you don't have the means to do it, go hire a guide. Like this is fish of a lifetime time of year. Like, even steelheading, like the Lower Niagara is lit right now. Like I wish I had a day to go, just even to go fish the whirlpool, just to go, because with all this low water around here, it's like I need to do a tour somewhere, and you know it. But this is the time of year you got to do it, and if you don't know how to do it, go get a guide to learn how to do it, and then once you learn how, then it's going to be easy for you. Dave, you got a question? 6 or 8? Wait, no. I'm actually using a float rod, so it's not a fly rod at all. It's a float rod. It's a 11-foot 6 float rod. It's pretty beefy. It's like a 6 to 10. And I have that for small streams because I'm always fishing in small pools and tight wood. So a lot of float rods out there like are 13 foot. It's kind of the normal. You'll see guys who are fishing big rivers. Like I have a 14 footer I use on the Saugeen and the Maitland. But for the small creeks, like 11 or 12 footers, kind of normal. And I know that seems long, but when you're doing these long drifts, you got to keep your rod tip up and you got to keep you want it as natural presentation as possible. And you can do it like you can float fish with a 6 foot rod if you want to. Like you're just running a bait under a float, but you can really get the presentation better by using that longer rod. But it's a pretty heavy rod. I find that a lot of float rods 11 foot or 10 or 11 foot are a little whippy and they're a little too soft when you got to put the boots to them. Like, and I'm running 8-pound fluoro, but I'm running 8-pound Berkeley fluorocarbon, which is basically like 10-pound regular fluorocarbon of most other brands. If you look at the line diameter, and Jim, we've talked about this, a lot of guys don't look at line diameter enough. Fluorocarbon diameter is everything. Because I remember talking with our good friend Jay Pierce. Congrats on his PB, by the way. That's awesome.
Amen.
We were talking about fluorocarbon and rainbows, and he's like, "What pound test you using?" I'm using 6 all the time. And he's like, "You don't break off all the time?" I said, "Yeah, but I'm using 6-pound Berkeley, which is basically, if you look at, I think he was using P-line, and P-line, you have to go up to like 8-pound or almost 10-pound P-line to get like." It's kind of in between 8 and 10 P-line. It doesn't exist, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like that line diameter is so critical. Like I'll run a lot of 4-pound fluoro, but it's like 6-pound other brands. Like one of the ones that a lot of guys use is Frog Hair for steelheading. Very nice fluorocarbon, but very limp and very, very, it's fragile basically. But sometimes you got to run that. But the other brand a lot of guys use, the steelheaders use, is Drennan.
Yeah.
And that stuff is rope. Like you hear guys, I'm using 3-pound Drennan. Well, you're using like, that's like the strongest 3-pound fluorocarbon on the market, but it's not 3 pounds. The diameter is
10. Diameter is 10. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true, which is fine. I'm not saying it's crappy at all. It's great fluorocarbon. Just know what diameter you're using when you're in and learn to compare. So
Amen. Jim, I've got a great question here that Steve asked. And I'll let you give your answer first and then I'll give you mine. But when it comes to braid, how often or when are you changing your braid?
The amount of times I fish now, Scotty, I'll use it a couple of years, but every time I'm out, I'll take off, I'll fill the reel right up and I'll take 10 or 15 feet. Like every time I use it. But when I'm fishing tournaments and we were just getting into braid, I probably changed it 3-4 times a year, but I didn't want to take a chance, because you're taking a chance, it costs you a lot of money.
Yeah.
And when we fished and it was all mono.
Yeah.
We would change every reel every night. If it was used much, say I didn't use it much, say I had a buzzbait rod and I just didn't use it. So that night at the hotel, what you would do is you would have all your rods on the deck of the boat or in the room if it was raining or whatever. And even if I didn't use the rod, I would unhook the lure, strip off about 10, 15 feet of line, and retie it all on there. Because thinking during the day with 20 rods bouncing around in the boat, the line got nicked, something, you lifted one up and you felt something snap for a second as you pull, whatever else. I want to pick up a buzzbait the next day when you saw some fish busted, go to make a cast over there and you set the hook and the line breaks, you don't want to do that. So I was pretty careful about it. And when I did all the walleye fishing, it was nothing to see me retie, 6, 8, 10 times a day. Constant. I used to have to pull the line retying on a 2,500 size spinning reel.
And you do use high res braid. Like I've noticed a lot of your setups. You are using in some cases the high res.
The yellow, I've had it on frogs. I actually, one of the rods and reels I played with out back here this year, I put it on a spinning rod and reel.
Yeah.
And I see what Gussie's saying, boy. You know right where everything is.
Yeah.
I use it on a frog just for one thing, because if you're chucking it in a slop, the fish doesn't see the line. You know, he's keyed right on the thing. And I'll come back to my same old thing about, so if he sees the line,
yeah,
you know what it is. You know, he doesn't know that someone's trying to catch him. You know, that classic story I had with my buddy from Down South Blues Band, there, Donnie, when we're standing there and the muskie had come to the boat to follow before, and he throws out and the fish sat and looked at the line. The line's coming by here with the lure coming, and the fish sat here going like this, looking at the line. That was what was that stuff called? Cortland Micron, AJ?
Yeah, Cortland. Yeah, Cortland line. Yeah,
that was the first stuff that we used that was braid. Hey, really? That didn't have as much stretch, and it wasn't a big fish. It was like, I think it was 18, 20 pounds. And it sat there looking at the line. He reeled the lure by it, and it just ate the lure when it went by.
Wow.
10 feet away from me, you know. But it was right behind the motor. We're just floating in the Reno River, and it was so cool, you know.
And I don't do this every year, but the one thing I'm big on high vis line, and when it comes to braid, I like the yellows, I like the light blues. The only thing that I'll do, and it'll have a lot of, it has a lot to do with how much exposure it gets to sunlight. Now, this year I didn't get a lot of fishing in, I will admit, so I probably won't do it this year. But you lose a lot of that high vis. And what I make sure I have is an extra reel. Usually it's got a big body on it so that I can reel in quite a bit of line. And I'll just re-spool the same line, but I'll start from the backing and work my way back to.
Do that right out here with the tree on the lawn?
Yeah.
I'd tie it to it, and I'd back up. I'd come to the mono. I'd cut it off, walk to the other end, and put it on. And I didn't have to. I'm sponsored. I got more spools up, bulk Power Pro, you know, whatever. I just did it anyway, you know, because it.
But it's a great question that Steve's asked, because I really don't know. I don't know if there's a rule of thumb when it comes to changing your braid. How often, you know, has it got a shelf life?
It's all about what you do, where you use it. Like, I mean, braid cuts so easy.
Yeah.
So easy. Like, it's, you know, like I've seen muskies hit my lure with a 160-pound fluorocarbon leader and have the head and the leader in their mouth, and they're shaking, and all of a sudden the lure's out. They've just got the line, and they get away. You catch them, whatever. And I remember Mark Thorpe showing me this one day, and he says, "There, you still worried?" And I watched like a 50-inch fish chew on the line with the lure around the other side of his head after he got off, jump a couple of pounds with that line right through his mouth. And he looked at it, and you know the way fluorocarbon peels in little pieces?
Yes.
There was a couple of little ones like that. And he went like this and knocked them off. And I looked at it, and I'm thinking, you know, and he didn't change it because he wasn't worried about it. But if that was braid, a muskie's teeth, you just touch it and it's gone, eh?
Yeah.
Just touch it. Yeah. Do it. Go and grab a rod and reel, get out a little X-Acto knife. The weight of the X-Acto knife on the braid, take it back and forth once or twice, I'll cut it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Gary, this is also, I do that as well. I'll spool up for ice fishing rods. Put it this way. I have never, and I've never experienced this. I'm going to ask you too, if you have you ever seen braid basically degrade to the point where it becomes obvious you have to change it?
Yes, it can
more
surprisingly quickly.
Really?
Yeah. I think once it starts to go, and it happened with us in the beginning. The first braid we had came from Japan, and we got it when Rocky and I used to guide these Japanese guys. There was the one guy there, the coolest guy ever when he got there. He was, we nicknamed him Don Johnson. He had the loafers with no socks, the pants up about this far from the shoes, eh? The nice slacks. He's a brutally handsome dude, eh? He's got the jacket, the yellow jacket like Don Johnson had, the tan, the whole bit, you know. He was a great guy, eh? And
that's hilarious.
Yeah, that was him right to a T. But they brought that line with them, and it was
interesting. Jay, have you had much experience with it degrading to the point where it's visibly time to change it?
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think the newer braids across all the brands, it's better now. It'll last longer now. Yeah, like everyone has their own proprietary things, but there's coatings on it now. The filaments they're using are better quality. It used to wear out fast. It did to me, and it would lose color fast too. Like, I don't really care about the color too much, to be honest. Like, one thing about color that I do a lot of is that I think I got this tip from, it either was from Gussie or the Johnsons or both. And so all my finesse rods, like all my spinning rods, basically, if I'm finessing with them, I run the white braid on all of them. And some of it's just so I know what I got. I pick up that rod. Almost all of those rods have like 8-pound braid. And I'm going to fish a drop shot. I'm going to throw a Nico on it. I'm going to throw a tube on it, whatever, 8-pound. I'll just change the diameter of the leader, depending on what I'm doing with it. But 8-pound to whatever is fine. And then I have a couple spinning rods that I throw the high vis on. And I love the high vis, especially when I'm skipping stuff around docks and trees and stuff, because I can always watch where it's going. And I just change that diameter again, the leader. And then with bait casters, like some stuff I'm using high vis. That's what I'm doing long casts. But short range stuff, I'm still kind of going by feel. That's just kind of my thing. Right. But I played around with both. I probably doesn't really matter to me that much on the short range stuff. But I use a lot of fluorocarbon on the bait casters. Like when I'm throwing my, it depends on the setup, but honestly, a lot of my swim jigs and my bladed jigs, I'm throwing a lot of fluoro on those. It depends on how I'm matching the rod with it, though. Like I've gone through, and Jim, you might relate to this. Like I'll throw a bladed jig on fluorocarbon on a composite rod. That's kind of my favorite. But if I'm fishing that bladed jig in like heavy cover, then a medium heavy composite doesn't have enough oomph to it. I might throw braid on that rod so I can cut through that vegetation better. Like you'll hear everyone say only fluoro on bladed jigs. It's like, no, you got to kind of match the rod with the braid. So like Trevor and I, we fish so much shallow, like we fish a lot of largemouth in less than 2 feet of water in vegetation all the time. And a bladed jig, in fact, I'm not making long casts that I'm like pitching that little bladed jig and working it through pockets. And I found that a medium heavy composite with fluoro, there was too much stretch because fluoro has a bit of stretch in it. Mm-hmm. There's too much flex in that rod in that heavy vegetation. So I've actually gone to, and I haven't decided what I like better, a heavy action composite rod with fluoro or a medium heavy composite with braid, because they both have good pros.
They probably cancel each other out.
They kind of do, Jim. They kind of do. But this is how my brain works, right? Where I'm overthinking it, but I've been doing this my whole life when it comes to fishing anyways, right? But this is why we like fishing, because I can overthink it. I sit there in the basement like, and I think next year it's going to be, I do like the fluoro because of pike. The pike eat the bladed jig. So I can run 17 or 20 pound fluoro, and I'm probably going to end up beefing that up to a heavy action composite, basically like a 7.6 crankbait rod, heavy with fluoro. I think that's going to be my shallow water junk fishing with a bladed jig. I think that's going to be my new rod. So
that's awesome. And George, thanks for bringing this up. I did want to jump on this a little bit too, in regards to what you were saying. The number of Black Friday sales, and I'm just looking from an electronic standpoint. Yeah. If you're in the hunt for some Garmin products, they're dropping their prices. They're making it very affordable for folks to get into that.
Something's coming.
That market.
Something's coming.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you're looking to get into the forward-facing sonar line of products, man, I'll tell you, there's no better time than right now, because there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be made very affordable come Black Friday. And Ed he mentioned as a past charter captain, 2 seasons he get out of his braid. Obviously, I'd watch him tie fluoro all day the whole time we were out on the water. So yeah, I can attest to that. as well. But as I said, it is definitely going to be an interesting ice water season. It seems to me, based on everything that's being said, it's going to start a little bit sooner than later. As it sounds like, as you mentioned, Saskatchewan, Northern Quebec, even the Northwest Territories, we're seeing the Conrad folks up there doing some wonderful work.
I saw Tackle Depot, Ben Harvey and the guys over there. They've been doing some great videos of their current ice fishing stock. I see a lot of new clam products there. You know what? So I came to this realization this week, Scotty, because you and I were chatting about the lack of an ice fishing show, which is a little sad. Sad. I'm not gonna lie. But what's great about this is all the stock that those guys have been bringing to those shows, guaranteed that stock, because they had to pre-order that stock because they wouldn't have known about the show, because you have to order. Jim, when do they order their ice fishing stuff? Like April?
Oh, it'd be like the end of the summer.
Right. So
HT would put the catalog out in, I'd get it in like August.
Yeah. So you got to do your orders then. So that means all the tackle shops have all the ice fishing stuff now. So if you want ice fishing stuff cheap, Black Friday, go to your favorite tackle shop. Don't wait till Christmas. Christmas is fine, Boxing Day sales, but if you want the new stuff that's in now, go now, because stuff will start to get picked over soon. I know it.
It doesn't take long.
Nope.
George is predicting a late ice season this year, and I can certainly understand why you would say that, George. Makes perfect sense. But Shane, what you saw is what I saw. We are starting to see some very low temperatures creep up into the not so distant forecast, which is definitely ice making weather. As long as the winds stay low, I think we're going to see some ice being made after this past weekend, because it's amazing to see the weather that they're forecasting for Southern Ontario. For all those who aren't living in Southern Ontario, I apologize for digressing, but we're going to get a lot of rain, and in the blink of an eye, like somebody flicked the switch, the snow squalls are going to start, and they have warnings in a lot of areas. London, out your way, Jay, they've got lots of snow squalls. Even Jim, up your neck of the woods, lots of snow squalls this weekend as well.
Yeah, last weekend. So we were out fishing on Sunday, not this past weekend, weekend before, and my phone was lighting up all day about these snow squall warnings. Now we didn't get it. We just missed it. Like London got it bad. We were supposed to go to work. I still got some field work I got to wrap up, and we were supposed to go to London this past week, and we didn't, because it was so like they got over a foot of snow. And so like I can't walk through the bush and carry all the gear like that. It's just not for what we got to do. So it melted now, but the rivers have come up a bit around that area, which is great. But like they were calling for, I saw 20 to 40 centimeters of snow, and some places got it. But yeah, we'll see what happens this week. This like we're literally getting a polar vortex. That's what's coming. Like usually we don't get those like where it really hits the news until like January. But now, will we get ice? This safe ice? No, please, people, don't be those people. But people have to understand, though, what's important is that this cold weather, it will start to it'll just suck the heat units out of the water. It's just going to drop those water temperatures. One, this is going to help with the lake effect snow issues, because right now the lakes are still warm. So it's going to start dropping those lake temps, and we're going to see that happen. And then once it's just going to speed up the lockup. Now, we could get warm weather in December, and all this could and then George won't get all his visitors visiting him up in North Bay. But it's we'll see what happens with all this. But I think that this cold snap we're going to get is going to help kick things up in terms of getting rid of some of those heat units. So
agreed.
Yeah, that cold snap ain't happening here.
No,
we're showing like tomorrow and Wednesday we've got monster rain and at 12.
Yep.
And then it's the highs for the next week here, 4, 1, 0, 4, 2 -1 0 4.
Mm.
And it shows a snow squall on Sunday and then rain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
So that's the part that I haven't looked at, is the far away forecast in terms of like 10 days, 15 days out. This could all be for naught, as you said, Jay. We could have this quick cold snap, maybe harden a few areas, and then all of a sudden we're back into the rain and the double-digit temperatures. So
you got the big headline about the vortex, and everybody's going to freeze to death. You know, get your pizzas, get your Cokes. That guy from the East Coast, we're all going to die. 3/4 of the province isn't even getting it. You know, I mean, it's just one part of it.
And maybe it's just
you were talking about that, Jay. You were talking about
Yeah.
There's what does away with. See that right there?
Yeah.
All that is that leader. There's just nothing to it.
Yeah.
I don't think that harms you for one fish.
Yeah, I agree.
Last year, the last day that I fished out here, I got bit off 3 times for these. 3 times in the hole down the end by the big rock, trying to catch pike, and 3 times I got bit off without the leader.
Oh, without
the leader, I put on the leader, I don't get a bite.
Oh wow!
So you never know, but it just goes to show, you know, it's something that you can get out there. They're just single strand 30-pound test leaders. And I don't think you can put it on a chatterbait. Like if I'm fishing pike with a chatterbait, I've got one of those on it. As soon as the fall comes, when I fish in the back in the evenings, the chatterbait comes off, the leader goes back on, because I know the pike are coming. So the day before I did it this year was the day I had the giant pike.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go figure.
It's the way it works.
Yeah. Joe just saying, by all means, come visit. Just leave all of your Southern Ontario, buddy. Well said. Well, lads, it's been an hour. I know, Jim, you got to get going. Is there anything I missed, or anything that you guys wanted to mention?
Yeah, I got hacked. That wasn't funny.
Yes.
I lost all my social media stuff for 15.
Oh man,
15 years. So anybody that had me as a friend, go send me a friend notice or whatever it's called. Send me back on Insta. Follow me on Instagram. And that was funny. The other day, Mercer did a thing. I was talking to him. He put up a post out to help out Big Jim, and I got like 60 follows in like 15 minutes. But I'm already back close to 500 friends on Facebook in less than a week, so we'll build it back up. I got a note from a guy tonight. He told me, he said to me, "You know what the nice thing about it is, Jim?" I said, "Try to explain that to me right now. Could be a tough job." Yeah. He says to me, "You got rid of all the dead wood."
I was just gonna say, you trimmed the herd.
You trimmed the herd, buddy. You know, like you took the shaving brush that's round on the end and you cut it square.
Wow.
All of the little tingly bits, and because of the position you're in, the people that you would have, just as soon turfed.
Yeah.
Because they're always up to something or whatever. And now they're gone.
Yeah.
So
the shame is, though, that you lose the memories. That's the one thing that
there's so much stuff gone. It's like I said to a buddy of mine the other day, he said, "That must kill you." I said, "So I lost a lot of stuff off there that was only on there. I was stupid to let that happen. But I lost my deadlift, the movie.
Yeah.
It was only on there because it was saved on the phone.
Yeah.
What it is.
It's a reminder that we do your best to back up your stuff, to make sure that Facebook, you're not employing Facebook to remember.
Well, we found out that one of the accounts didn't have that 2-stage authentication stuff on it.
Okay.
Factor or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's, the guy said that might have been how they got in.
Yeah.
And then there was some other thing they tried to. Remember, I was telling you about the bit when I was talking to my granddaughters. I thought it had something to do with that after, because they came and told me I had community standards things and everything else. Well, it's funny that like 36 hours after that happens, the whole work gets hacked.
Yeah.
So I think there's obviously something there. Somebody got a hold of something. Just a vindictive move.
That's too bad, man.
Absolutely brutal. Well,
probably
Jim,
beat the dad up playing hockey.
You're always going to be a friend to us, and whether we're sending you requests or receiving them, I can assure you, you will not be missed, and folks will do their best to make sure that they add you where they see you.
All good.
Before we leave, anything that you wanted to add before we let go?
No, man, we're good. We got to talk about fishing. We got to pump some tires for some good. And listen, people on your social media feeds, share go to your favorite tackle shop, their Facebook page, share their website, especially if they got a sale going on. Drive some traffic to their shops.
Yeah, I did 4 or 5 today, my stories.
Let's do that. Let's do that. I challenge all CFNers to do that. In fact, I'm pretty sure that a lot of the sales are actually going till December 1st, which is a week today. So we can reconvene. I'm planning on now. I got to go to Ontario Bass Nation has their annual meeting on Saturday. They're getting we're doing a Zoom call with the G-Man, apparently G-Man, and I'm watching his recovery online, which is crazy.
Doesn't look too good.
No, but he's recovering. Like, he got on the exercise bike I saw. Like, I'm following him. Like, it's like I'm following like a Netflix series or something.
You see him do it
like,
backwards? He was trying to turn it backwards and he's having some trouble.
So kudos to him. So that's on Saturday. So I know I'll probably see some of the folks that are actually in the chat here tonight. And then on Sunday, I really got to do some Christmas shopping because it's that time of year, man. And at our house,
it's the 24th.
At our house, we drive.
Can you believe he mentioned Christmas? Can you believe it?
It's dude, it's 1 month away.
I know. It's
look at the right. Look at the right. It's up here.
and I'm still a last minute shopper, but I do love a bargain. So I'm probably gonna maybe I'll go buy something for myself. Make sure I get something in my stocking that I want.
Our Christmas gift between Tammy and I arrived yesterday.
Oh yeah, what'd you get? What'd she get you?
I can't tell her. It won't be a surprise to me.
So we got
a really fancy air fryer. My daughter has a friend that works for Amazon.
We got Bass Nation and Christmas shopping, fishing shopping, and hopefully some fishing. We'll see. I want to get up to Lake Huron for a day, so we'll see if I can make that happen. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Jay and Jim, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for all you do for our community and continue to do for the industry at large. Again, we
be safe,
are
buddies.
So thankful.
Be safe.
Yeah, man.
Can't say enough nice things about you. If there's any tires that we need to pump, are these two. Lawrence was sick tonight. Unfortunately, he's got the flu, so he couldn't join us, but hopefully he'll be back next Monday to talk about a whole.
He'll be fishing tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Well, make sure anybody sees him out in the water that you let Jim and I know.
Or getting out of jail on bail first thing in the morning.
Amen.
Arms in a cast. Yeah.
Well, get some of that. We're giving you some time back. Use it wisely. But in the meantime, as always, stay classy. You too. Love having you a part of our community. We can't thank you enough.
I love you guys.
See you, Scotty. Be good,
Amen.
man. All right. See you.
Dave, take us away, buddy.
Well, as much as I hate to admit it, I guess we've run out of time. So I've enjoyed it, but I'm going to do something I haven't done since season 1. Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end.